C1 Escoffier or weapons a question that I've been asked quite a lot for the past couple of days, so I'm just going to be making this quick video talking and providing my thoughts about it because I'm personally someone who's also looking to invest more into my Escoffier. What her weapon actually do is it gives you basically around 6% crit damage if I remember correctly, which is actually pretty high and it's nice. Other than that, you do get attack increase by 12%. With her being off field, it's another 12%, which is basically 24%. Other than that, after healing, she and the character that have been healed gets a 33% attack increase as well, which technically speaking, if this is for Escoffier, the active character and herself will always get the 32% attack increase. Other than that, you do have a 3-second window for basically just sub DPS damage to get a nice attack boost as well, because she does have full team healing when it comes to her elemental burst. That 3 seconds is obviously short, but it does give you a tiny boost, especially if you have a Shenhe on your team, for example, but it doesn't really work for free now. So looking into this weapon passive focuses a lot on increasing your attack percentage, which is kind of nice considering that if you are focusing on a cryo damage team right now, basically all of the character is attack scaling. However, Escoffier is a character that also have and is being used on Hydro team as well, where most of the Hydro character kinda scale with HP. So if you're using a team such as New Villet, then it's not going to be too much of a beneficial toward he himself. It's more just going to be toward getting Escoffier herself better sub DPS damage, which is overall quite good, as I really like how much Escoffier is able to do off field, and she's one of the characters that I've been enjoying using a lot so far. Now when it comes to her C1, I would just have to say that she has one of the better C1 Constellation value in the game, in which if you are using this in the correct situation, it does provide you a ton of value because it focuses a lot on your cryo character, right? You're getting an extra 60% crit damage increase for your cryo damage, and that is huge. This is a C1 level. So generally, of course, C1 is very simple. However, it is only towards a cryo team. It doesn't support Hydro team or any other kind, which makes it an obvious choice. Is that if you are just focusing on increasing your cryo damage character, then C1 will have slightly better value compared to the weapon. And more so, if you are looking into your weapon of choices, you do have a couple of really good 5-star options, especially if you have the Staff of Homa and you're already using it on her. Then technically speaking, the combination of her using Staff of Homa and having her C1 is definitely just having a 4-star options given to her. Now obviously there are a number of free-to-play weapon of choices that can be given to Escoffier. However, it's definitely not going to be as good as some of the 5-star. But even when we are looking into the 5-star options, she doesn't really have too many good 5-star options either, because she's a character that doesn't need crit rate, right? Jade Spear isn't technically good on her because she's off field most of the time, and it also gives her crit rate considering that she's already have a crit rate passive ascension. She would love to have crit damage, and some of the only 5-star crit damage poem right now is technically a Staff of Homa and her signature at the current point. So generally speaking, if you're not giving her a Staff of Homa right now, her signature is slightly going to be overall better because she herself is getting an increase. Your whole team is also getting increase with the poem itself as crit damage. Overall, her signature will be more universal than her C1. But if you again focuses on cryo teams mostly, then a C1 with a Staff of Homa would definitely yield you more results. So those are my thoughts on Escoffier investment. I think she's a really good character for us to think about investing in because her overall investment value can actually yield you a lot of results across different teams. So if you're investing into her, I really wish you good luck. Now if you're still on the fence on some couple of other matters regarding Escoffier, or you'd like to look more into her team comps, don't forget to check out my other videos on Escoffier. And again, if you're new to the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on my future Genshin videos. Really appreciate you guys staying with me to this part of the video, and with that I wish you a super day, and I'll catch you on my next video.